Alrighty guys, as you keep reviews of the Dragon Ball Legends ToP guide video. So I might sound a little bit different, a little bit like congested. I am a little sick unfortunately, but we are going to power through it because I did say that I want to start having a goal of releasing these videos on the Saturday of the week of the season releasing, right? That's the goal right now. That way you guys aren't getting them too late. Sometimes it might come out a little bit earlier if everything's going super smooth, right? But Saturday I do want it to be the latest, and as of right now I am recording this on Saturday. Maybe it'll come out like on midnight or something like that. I don't know. It depends on how fast I get to editing this. But anyways, last season we did end off at rank 1711, which was an extremely successful season. We haven't ranked that high in a very long time. I did use a very greedy team. I don't think we're going to be doing that this season. Going to definitely be playing it a little bit more safe. I was getting a ton of comments about your guys' Rage Shenron dying or your other boost units dying pretty early on, and so I want to avoid that, right? Last season was just like a one-off. Of course, before we continue, huge shout out, massive love to doomgeta, to everyone in the Discord for helping support these videos, helping put in the effort into these videos. Without them, these videos would be dog doo-doo, bro. So definitely go ahead and check them out. Their links will be in the description down below. One of the links is for the Celestials Discord, which is owned and managed by doomgeta himself, and the other one is the unofficial Dragon Ball Legends Discord. That one, all like doomgeta, Aflag, GMC, they all have the helper role in that one, so you still have access to their guides in that one as well. And don't forget that there will always be timestamps in the description down below. That way you guys can always get to where you need to go if you just need to hop in and then hop back out. All right, so first things first, we're going to be talking about the pathing right here, right? So left hand side and the right hand side, you're going to see two images right here. It's going to be part 1 and part 2. It's usually how we split up the path, right? It's going to be the first 13 fights and then the last 12 fights. So on the left side, there's only 2 difficult fights that are indicated by the warning symbol. And then in the second half, there's also only 2. So a total of 4 difficult fights, which actually seems pretty tame, right? Sometimes we'll see like 4 in just the first half. So I'm actually pretty cool with this. And this is color coded for you guys. So remember, the first half, you don't really have to worry about bringing in your high tier units. You can go ahead and just preserve the life of your Z tiers and your S tiers. It's once you start going from the gray pathing to the orange, the purple, and to the red, right? That's where you're going to start seeing that boost significantly increase per fight. And I'll also put up the graphics so you can exactly see how much of that boost you're going to be getting, right? That's why it's important to make sure that you have those boost units alive for especially like the last 2 fights. Because remember, we did have a season where one of my boost units ended up dying, and I was like, well, I can still get this boost. Let me just go ahead and put the unit in there. So I put a dead unit on my main team, did the fight, and then got like no points off of it, because if they're dead and you bring them in, you're not getting that boost. All right, so next we do have the color wheel right here, right? So this is just pertaining to those 4 difficult fights. So 4 threatening reds, 2 threatening yellows, 2 threatening purples, 4 threatening greens, and then 4 threatening blues. So obviously red, greens, and blues, that's the most that you're going to see of right here. If you throw on more than a couple extra purples, that's probably going to be okay, because there's only 2 yellows that are really threatening. And then same thing for the green units. If you throw in a little bit of extra greens, that's probably going to be okay in the long run, just because there's only the 2 purples. And then secondary to that, we do have the cover change predictions. So strike covers, there's 8 strike covers total throughout those difficult fights. And then for blast, there's only 4 blast covers, and then the rest is null, right? There's nothing else there. So of course, blast teams are going to have it easier this season. Usually they do have it easier, unfortunately. That's not to say that strike teams are completely just in the dirt. Just blast teams usually just have an easier time of navigating through the cover changes. But now let's get into our like tips and tricks section. This is pretty much, we're going to just highlight some of the important units here, and I am going to go ahead and point out Pycon. This fight looks easy, all right? But Pycon, he will stun one of your units if you have a unit that contains both of the tags Powerful Opponent and Sagas from the movies, like a Broly unit, a Janemba unit, stuff like that, right? He will stun that unit, and then he will also debuff your top row. So definitely be careful about that. This Gamma 1 is going to be debuffing your middle row. Not the craziest thing ever, right? Next, you have this fight right here. So a lot of debuffs coming out. Typically what I like to do is I like to go for these 2 Tapions first. So I go for the red Tapion and then the yellow Tapion. They both have debuffs. Red Tapion, though, he is going to be debuffing 1 unit specifically pretty heavily on turn 2, right? As the effect of his green card indicates. But his green card is also, not only is it debuffing, it's also allowing him to reduce your special move gauge to 0. So if you're coming up on a special move gauge like 98%, 97%, he's going to reduce that to 0. So he's definitely one of my high priorities. And then another high priority kind of, but a lot of people go for him last, is that purple Tapion. He does have a non-discriminate or non-health gated blast cover change. So it's kind of hard to go for him last. But once you do hit him, he debuffs you as well. So he's just annoying. Ideally you want to take him out in the 5th slot, but a lot of the times, especially for blast teams, that just doesn't happen. So it is what it is. And then the blue Zamasu, he's debuffing you off rip, and then he's also debuffing you once you hit him. He is debuffing the bottom row though, so just stay away from that for this fight. Next you had this one right here. So this one's pretty easy. Just take out the 2 tag units and you should be good to go. Next we have this Legends Road fight. So the main unit I do want to point out here is this Trunks. So before you kill this Gohan unit, you better kill the Trunks unit, because Trunks will get 100% to the special move gauge when a Gohan ally dies. So obviously this guy for sure, right? He's going to get that special move gauge. I don't know if it procs for Great Saiyan Man, right? Because Gohan's not necessarily in his title. It's just Great Saiyan Man. We could test it out. I'm down to test it out. We'll see what happens. But just do not kill this green Gohan before the Trunks. You know what I mean? Alright, so this next fight is... I mean, I don't think it looks crazy. It just looks a little annoying, right? So this blue Super Saiyan 3 Goku is going to stun you. Turn 1, nothing you can really do about that. This red Goku's debuffing your left and right column. This Goku, the purple Path to Power Goku, he just has good damage, and then on turn 3 he has the chance to double attack. The mini Goku has good support, like really good support. Like he's giving like key recovery support, like 10% or something like that. So it's pretty strong, right? And then the yellow Goku, he does have the Blast Arts mitigation. So next we have this fight. This fight is annoying just because of everything that's going on right here. There's pretty much everyone should be highlighted except for this Evil Buu and this Kid Buu right here, right? So Buu tanks, obviously that's your first priority. He gets a super attack on turn 1. Don't let him get that off. It doesn't hit that hard, if I'm being real honest, but if it gets onto like a red unit, for example, that's bad news bears. This Super Buu over here, he has a chance to start. He doesn't have a chance. He does stun you on turn 3, right? So you do want to get him out of there. This Ultra Buu has really good damage, typically has a strike cover for someone. This red Buuhan has a chance to double attack. It's only 20%, but I got hit by it last season and it pissed me off. But he has the chance to double attack, and then he also has the strike cover. And then Kid Buu doesn't really do nothing, but the Evil Buu, he does have blast cover. Next you do have this like kids fight, right? So Pan, definitely high priority. Either 1 or 2 slot, right? Because Pan and Goten are going to be your highest threats here. Pan just because of all the support she's giving, and then Goten because he's super attacking you on turn 2, so relatively early, has a good amount of key restore speed too. And then after that, I probably would say the Path to Power Goku again has the chance to double attack on turn 3. Don't let him. And then you would go for this guy last because he has death buffs. I can't remember if they're just generalized death buffs or death debuffs, or if it's specifically for like Android. I don't know. Just take him out last. I wanted to go ahead and double check, but so he does just give death buffs, right? So once he's defeated, he's inflicting 20% to damage received. So just take him out last. All right, so next, this is your first boss fight. This one's definitely annoying. So high priorities here. So the purple Gohan, he's debuffing your team's damage received. He typically has a strike cover for someone. The fusing Super Vegito, kill them before turn 3. Don't let them fuse, right? And then after that, the Shin, he has a strike cover for someone, and is just a supporter for the team. 18 is just another supporter and healing. Kid Buu is Kid Buu. And then Evil Buu is going to be the last unit you target here, but Evil Buu typically has a blast cover. So honestly, I would say the only thing that should be circled right here is going to be the Gohan, the fusing Super Vegito, and then the Shin. Next, you have this fight right here, so just take out Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku, gets a super attack on turn 2, and then you should be good. Alright, so this next fight isn't that bad either, so I think you do go for Legends Limited Gohan first, just because he's getting buffs, or he's getting stronger per dead ally. And then after that, you just go for the Yellow Cell, who usually has a cover rescue for someone. Then you go for the Green Gohan, and then you go for the Revival Cell last. And then you have the Vegeta Clan, so the big 3 right here is definitely Sword of Hope Trunks has a strike cover for someone. The Sweater Trunks has a cover rescue for someone, and then the Vegeta Trunks. They don't have any cover change, but they are a tag unit. They are annoying, right? So those are the 3 main highlighted ones every single time. And then I probably would also highlight the Mai, right? Just because the Mai is stunning one of your units on turn 3, right? So on turn 3, or at the end of turn 2 technically, she shoots out her flashbang, and then at the beginning of turn 3, one of your units is going to be stunned. If I'm going into this blind without knowing where the cover changes are at, like if I don't know where the team formation is, I typically just go for Sweater Trunks first. It's just because get that cover rescue out of the way. I typically run Blast Team, so I don't have to worry about the strike cover from Sword of Hope. And then maybe I'll slide in and kill Mai, and then start working on the Vegeta Trunks. There's a lot of options here. And the general consensus is to go for the Rage Trunks last, because he is getting buffs per hit. I actually think this is the first fight we come across. I just barely realized something, is that the Red Tapion is there. So Red Tapion is going to be your highest priority on this fight specifically. Don't get hit by his green card on turn 2. Alright, so this one, you're going for Sweater Trunks first. Remember, Sweater Trunks does have the cover rescue, and something I did forget that I got hit by last season was he has the chance to double attack too, right? Don't want to deal with that. And then you probably go for the free-to-play zombies after that, because he's debuffing you. He's relatively... he has relative damage. I wouldn't say he's a new unit, but he's not exactly an old unit. And then after that, I probably would say the Goku Black and Zamasu assist unit, and then the EXs with the Vegeta and the Mai. Vegeta, you don't have to worry about his debuffs, because he only gets those debuffs if he's on a Vegeta clan team, right? And he needs like 4 allies, all Vegeta clan allies. And then the last unit is going to be the Revival unit. Now, before we move on to our top teams, in the middle of the screen should be the graphic right here that's going to give you the Legends key / guide to all the icons that I use in my graphics, right? This probably would get bigger, probably get more extensive, right? Because it's not perfect, and I know it's very like cluttery, but hopefully this will help you out in terms of like what each icon means. Like, you know, for example, like the S tier icons, the Z tier icons, the red versus the blue, just stuff like that. Because in the future, I might even start putting like a little super attack icon for units that are super attacking, getting a guaranteed super attack, right? Like Goku would have, God Goku would have that, stuff like that. So definitely, if you feel a little bit lost, a little bit like confused on what the graphics is trying to tell you, definitely just refer back to this. Alright, so now we're going to talk about our top teams for the season right here. This is the team we are going to be using, which is the Blast-based Saiyans. I have yet to use this team in play, so I want to try it out, especially since we do have the Zenkai Goku and Vegeta, aka the Buu Duo, right, with the Transcendent Kamehameha. So core units, there is none. Boost units, you do have 2 Z tiers plus an S tier, so you have all that you need right here, right? You have Fasha, who's also stunning a unit just on her blast arts. You have the Bardock unit, and a lot of you guys might not have that Bardock unit. Good news for you guys is technically you don't even need that Bardock unit, right? Since if you have the Fasha and that yellow Vegeta on the board, you're already getting that 30%, which is the recommendation. If you still want another boost unit for him, you could easily just throw on the S tier purple Turles on there. I know a lot of people do like the green World Tournament Goku from DB Saga, right? Because he also is a healer. You have a ton of boost option replacements for him. Then on the main team, of course, you do have the Buu Duo with the Transcendent Kamehameha. You have the support from Super Saiyan 3Ku. You have the tag Evo Ken. You have Kaba with the key restore speed support plus the heals, and you have Nappa who's debuffing turn 1, and then also it's just a revival unit. Let's try to get him to revive because I do have him very low stars, right? We only have him like at the 5-star requirement. I have him less than that. I have him at freaking 4 stars, bro. Let's see if you can do anything substantial there. If you need a replacement for the Nappa, someone that I do think like fulfills his role like the same way as he does is the green Pycon, right? Because he's also debuffing and is the revival unit. The next we have the strike-based version. So again, no core unit here, but you do have a good amount of boost units. You have the Z tier Tora, you have the S tier Nappa, who's debuffing, a phenomenal debuffer, right? Just a great unit overall. And then the S tier Bowling Movie Goku, who's getting his blue card fairly quickly, I would say. He's building it up pretty quick. And then on the main team, you have the support from the 3Ku, and then you just have a lot of damage on this team, if I'm being real honest with you. You have a tag unit on here, you have the Kaioken Goku, you have the Ultra Goku, and then you also have the God Goku, who's debuffing, and he's getting that turn 1 super attack, and you can easily just turn that into the ultimate arts, right? Next, we have the Taunthan team. So core unit, of course, is going to be the Taunthan unit. He has the taunt effect, so turn 1, everyone's going to be focusing him. The best thing to pair alongside that is to sprinkle a little bit of heals on him, right? So that's where Goten comes into place. That is going to be one of your healers. For your boost units, you have the Z tier Teen Trunks. Since it is a lot of hybrids on here, he's still gonna fit on here regardless. You have the S tier Purple Gohan and the S tier Kaioken Goku, who's getting that blue card on turn 3, right? So he gets 100% to his gauge at the end of turn 2. Leading into turn 3, he goes and he pops it off. If you want a replacement for that Z tier Teen Trunks, I do recommend throwing on the yellow Goku. A lot of people don't have that yellow Goku. He's in Z tier. I don't have him. He's not the free-to-play one. He's a premium Goku unit, right? So don't get him confused with the free-to-play one. But yeah, that definitely would be the better option here. Just a lot of people don't have access to him. As for the main team, you have Double Beast Gohan, the red one, the yellow one, and then again God Goku with the debuffs and the turn 1 super attack. And then with that, we can go straight into the strike-based hybrids. So core unit is going to be Pan. You have double Z tiers right here with the Kid Trunks, and then the Z tier Zenkai Trunks right there. That's actually a big pull to have. Like, the main focus or the main reason behind picking boost unit is to get someone that's going to tank, to get someone that's going to survive, right? That's why when you're picking a boost unit, at least when we're picking them for the graphic, we're looking for damage cut. And so that is something, having the Zenkai stats, they're going to be a little bit beefy. They're going to be able to survive, right? I will say that boost unit replacements for this team is abysmal. You have one S tier replacement throughout all these replacement units. So it's a rough team to build right now, I think. For the main team, you have Gotenk support, you have Blue Beast, Yellow Beast, you have the Trunks, the Zenkai Trunks, who has the buffs against LOE, PO, just really good unit overall. And then you also have the Sweater Trunks, who has a chance of double attack, also has a cover rescue available for him. Next, we have the Hybrids Blast-based version. So Pan is still your HPZ ability core unit. And then for your boost, you have the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. And then, again, you have the Z-tier Zenkai Trunks. Again, you just having someone with that ability to survive is massive. You have a couple more options here than the Strike-based version, but still no Z-tier replacements, only 3 S-tier replacements. Still slim pickings for hybrids, right? They almost didn't make the cut to get some teams made for them for the season, but it's just such a popular tag, it's hard not to, right? For the main team, you have the Grunks unit, you have the Yellow Beast Gohan, you have the blue free-to-play Gohan over the Blue Beast Gohan, right? Just because a blast-based favored Z ability is good. You have the red Gotenks, and then you have the Ultra Green Gohan. When he gets attacked by Strike Arts, he mitigates it and gets 100% to special move gauge, which is massive value for you. Next, we do have Sagas from the movies. This is a strike-based team. No core, or actually, yeah, there is technically a core unit on here. It's Goku. Pan is typically the main core unit, but Goku can also fill that role since he's also an HP Z ability buffer, right? Goku, I think, is favored here just because not only is he giving that HP Z ability buff, but he is also acting as your S tier boost unit. And then Z tier is going to be that green EX Frieza. As for the main team, you do have the Blue Beast Gohan, you have the Yellow Tapion, who does act as a pseudo healer, very small heal, and he supports just the tile right behind him. So in this case right here, he would only be supporting that Blue Beast Gohan right here, right? You have the Fat Gotenk support, you have the tag unit, you have the red cooler, and then of course you have the debuffs from God Goku into the super attack. Next, we do have the blast-based version. So core unit Master Roshi, HPZ ability plus the S tier is very, very nice. And then you have the Z tier Bardock, S tier Amon. Main team, you do have that free-to-play Blue Gohan, just a really good unit, right? He's also on the Hybrids team. You have the Gammas 1 and 2. You have the Purple Piccolo, who has good damage, good support. If you do have him at the Pink Star, he is a little frail. Be careful with him. You have the Pycon on there. His debuffing revival unit is very valuable. And then you have the newly Zenkai'd red Frieza. That guy was already good pre-Zenkai, and he's even better post-Zenkai. Next team we will talk about is the girls team. So honestly, I'm straight up, like, I don't recommend this team this season. I know, like, if you're already committed to girls, you have them all maxed out, have them all, like, friendship rank 10, like, there's nothing I can do to convince you at that point, right? Their boost got significantly cut for their main team this season. So for core unit, obviously there's none. Boost units, usually it's like a lot of S tier boosts on the main team, but for this season, it's just the Z tier Purple Bulma and the S tier Red Mai. and then you pretty much just have to just deal with that. Main team, you do have the heals from the blue KO down there. You have the blue Bulma, so a lot of support going on right here, right? And then you have the green 21 for the stun on turn 2, but I feel like this team is intended for you to reach super high ranks, and without all the boost unit, I mean, I still think you get high ranks with this because a lot of these guys are A tier, but without all the S tier boosts, I feel like it kind of just falls short for me this season. Next, we have Majin Buu Saga. So core unit Pui HPC ability, and then you have a Z tier boost with Gotenks, S tier boost with the TN, fantastic unit. And then the main team, you have the 3Ku support, you have the Fat Buu support, and then he's also healing. And then you have the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, you have the Buu Duo with the Transcendent Kamehameha turn 4, and then you have the Buu Han with a chance to double attack as well. If you don't have that Hercule unit, the closest one-on-one replacement is going to be the yellow free-to-play 18, also is a healer. Next, we do have the powerful opponent. So again, I always say this too, is that the main team doesn't really change. It's always like locked into these 6 units right here, right? Core unit, yellow Broly, HBZ ability, and then the only thing that changes here is the boost units. So you have the Z tier Red Frieza, Z tier Blue Goku Black, and then on the main team, you have the Red Zamasu getting 20% per hit on special move gauge, huge. You have the Blue Goku Black support. You have the Garlic Jr. support. He's basically providing like MVP 17 stuff. So if you stun one of the units in his 4 quadrants, so he's protecting above him, to the left, right, and below him, he will avoid a stun. And he also double attacks on turn 3 guaranteed. You have the Cell, who's just great against Saiyan/hybrids, and then of course Goku Black Ultra Rose, he's getting a blue card turn 1. Next, we do have DB Saga. I want to run this team, bro. I have every unit on this team except for World Tournament Goku, and I could just sub him out with the green DKP. I want to use this team so bad, bro, but it's just, there's no replacements here, dude. There's just no replacements. One of these days, I'm going to convince you guys to let me do it. Core unit is Yellow Master Roshi, also a boost unit. And then you have Z tier Tambourine, he's a healer. You have S tier Piccolo Jr., S tier Real Tournament Goku's a healer. You have the Jackie Chun. There's so much boost, and it's not even like these units are dog shit. Like a lot of times you'll get a lot of boost units and they're just kind of poo poo. These units are great, and they're boost units. And then you have the Zenkai Launch, the Zenkai Blue Bulma, and then you have the Purple Path to Power Goku with the chance to double attack on turn 3 too, right? Good damage overall too. Next, we have the GT. This is the blast based version. So main or core unit is Super Baby 2. Always. He's the main healer, right? And then for your boost units, you have the Z tier Sin Shenron, who's buffing your whole board. Fantastic support unit. You have the S tier Trunks. You have the S tier Vegeta, who's debuffing. Then on the main team, you have that Hellfighter 17, huge debuffs. Probably one of the best debuffers on this team. Parasite Trunks, just great damage, has good buffs against hybrids/Saiyans. You have the Spirit Bomb Goku, defensive type, by the way. He does have the Solar Flare ability, right? So he has a stun for you. And then you also have the Super 17. That guy is just, if there's a yellow unit on the enemy team, you're bringing this guy in. Even if there's like 2 blues, bro. He just has insane damage, and then he has a good chance to like double attack against the yellow, and then he's also just getting his super attack when he's attacking a yellow. Like he hate crimes yellow units, which is good for you. And next we have the strike base GT. So Super Baby 2 is still the core unit, right? Never going anywhere. Boost units is Sin Shenron full board support. You have the Nova on there with the bubble shield, mitigate either a blast or strike arts 1 time per fight. And then you have the S tier Kid Goku right there, who's getting 50% to his special move gauge every fight. So he's super attacking every other fight, essentially, which is pretty nice. You have the Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku on there for a stun. You have the Pan on there. If you have Super Baby 2 at a good amount of stars, like I would say at 7 stars, you slide him in on here over the yellow Pan. You have the Gogeta 4 and the Tag Force, all pretty solid in terms of damage. So next we have Frieza Force. So we have 2 core units here. So you have the blue Frieza, who just got the Zenkai, so he's better than ever. And then you also have, but you're never going to see him revive. That's the only thing, right? And then you have the, I forget what that dude's name is. And then you have the core unit of Naval. I actually had to pull him up because I forgot his name. So he's S tier as well as a core unit, right? So providing support, providing heals too, which is good. And then for your other boost units, you have the Z tier Red Frieza, the S tier Ginyu Goldo Raccoon unit, who's also a healer too, so pretty good overall. And then on the main team, you have double stuns with the purple Frieza and the red Zenkai Frieza. You have the Jason Birder there. They could easily be replaced, right? You know, they're not a boost unit, so you don't have to be super greedy with them. You can go ahead and throw on someone else if you really wanted to. And then you also have, of course, the Golden Frieza. Golden Frieza always on the golden tile, dude. You always want him on that golden tile. And then you upgrade his special move because he's a turn 1 super attacker into the ultimate, and then the ultimate inflicts debuffs. Something interesting that you can do, and I think we're going to try in a later season, is you can run this, but put the green Golden Frieza instead of Naval, and then put the Ultra Frieza there, right? I think the main reason why Naval is here is because not only is he doubling as a core unit, but he's also a boost unit, right? And then next we have the LOE team. So 3 core units here, right? So you have Chilled HPZ ability, you have Revival Frieza healer, and then you have the Golden Angel Frieza healer, the green one, right? And then for your boost units, you have the Z tier Red Frieza and then the Z tier Green Frieza. So getting that 40% big bonus right there. And then main team, we have the yellow Golden Frieza always on the golden tile. Upgrade his special move turn 1, getting into the ultimate and then inflict more debuffs. You have the stun with the Red Frieza down there. And then you have the Ultra Frieza. So we used Ultra Frieza like on the season that he dropped, and I wasn't too impressed with him. But I do think he'd be better on a setup like this, where you're running 2 greens right off rip, right? Because I think that's really strong combo. Both of the green Friezas have really high key restore speed, so you're going to easily be able to take out some of those weak blues and then go into your special move with the yellow Frieza. So I think the play would be target a blue unit, kill the blue unit, and then target a purple unit, and then kill the purple unit, and then you're good to go. So next we have Android's core unit. We finally upgraded the yellow cell from just a healer unit to core unit. He's a healer and he's HPC ability buffer. That's why we give him the promotion after so long. And then for your boost, you have the Z tier 17. That guy's kind of poopy. Be careful about using him. He's super duper old. Then you have the S tier Cell Junior, and then the S tier Gamma 1. Gamma 1's a boost unit. He's also debuffing the middle column of the middle row of the enemy's board, which is nice. Main team, you have NV17 support. You have Android 21 with the stun on turn 2, plus a potential cover rescue if needed. Then you have the purple cell, who's just absolutely doing massive things to Saiyan / hybrid Saiyans. And then you have the red cell. Red cell is the best unit on this team, easily. He's like the Merge Zamasu equivalent, but better. He's definitely doing a whole lot. Even with his ultra ability, he's giving you like an extra 5% to special move gauge, which doesn't seem like a lot, but you notice it. Next we have Regeneration, our OG team. We have to go back to this team. This team is just so good. But core unit is Super Baby 2. He's your designated healer. For your boost, you have the Z tier Yellow Piccolo, who's a healer. You have the Z tier second form Cell, who's a stunner. And then you have the S tier DKP, who's a debuffer. So like, not only are these boost units like high boost, they're also like, they have different functions, like they have utility to them, right? Where they're just not some just stupid little boost unit that sucks but just needs to survive. They're actually doing some stuff, which is nice. Then on the main team, you have the purple Cell, who's debuffing to hell and back. He's really good. He can easily be replaced by the strike version of him, of the Legends Limited. I think that this one is better at equal stars, but I don't have this guy at high stars, so I always have to opt toward the other one, which is okay. And then for you have 2 guaranteed super attackers right here. So Boot Tank's turn 1 super, Piccolo turn 3 super, and then you have Corrupted Zamasu, who, even though he prefers strike, he works beautifully on this team, dude. Even when you set him over to blast, he's still getting the 20% to special move gauge every fight, so he's super attacking damn near every fight. He's really strong. And last but not least, back by popular demand, we have event exclusive. I know a lot of you guys are sad about this, so we are bringing it back. We have 2 core units here. You have Pui and you have the Golden Frieza. So Pui's HPC ability buffer. Golden Frieza is supporter, debuffer, and he's also healing the entire team. You have Super Saiyan 3Q support. You have free-to-play Blue Gohan down there. Extra damage against PO, which is good. You have the Yellow Cell support, and then for your boost unit, you have the S tier Red Goku, who's debuffing the left and right column of the enemy board. You have the Mon Ray up there, or no, that's not Goop Ray, right? Z tier Goop Ray, and then S tier Blue Metal Cooler, who his support is really strong tier, right? Because he's buffing key restore speed. And the one thing I did want to show you guys, so that's it. That's it for the teams. There was a lot of teams this season, lots of viable teams, except for Universe Reps. And I'm gonna show you exactly why Universe Reps was omitted from this season's guide video. We're gonna take a look at their boost. So this is their Z tier, right? So pretty much no usable unit. Like Topo, you would have to argue with me for, I don't know. I think I would just let you argue with the wall. I don't think Topo is a good unit. And then S tier, we have you have this guy and you have this guy, and maybe you could squeeze on Rebrian. I don't know, dude. It just looks so rough. I think it is doable, but I don't want to do it. And that's the main reason why they have been omitted for this season. And so now we're on the final segment of the video. Let's go ahead and take a look at this new cooler, free-to-play cooler right here. Maximum stats, key restore speed's high, 2,590. Maybe we can do a mono green LOE. Maybe it could work, bro. If they just had like a tag unit, I think it'd be perfect. So just a regular blue card available, has 70% to damage inflicted start a turn, 10% cut, 20% to key recovery, and end a second turn allied tag Lineage of Evil, event exclusive or Sagas, 10% to damage inflicted for 2 turns, 5% to special move gauge. You know how I love the gauge. I love the gauge glaze, bro. Under the third turn, 15% to damage inflicted, 20% to special move damage inflicted, and 30% to special move gauge. I like that. On strike or blast arts hits, enemy gets inflicted with attribute downgrade, minus 10% to health restoration and minus 10% to key recovery. On special move hit, enemy gets inflicted with 20% to damage received, heavy bleed, and their attribute upgrades get cancelled. Before receiving a strike, blast, or special move arts, you restore your own health by 2%, activates 2 times, and you inflict enemy with attribute downgrade, minus 10% to damage inflicted. For 1 turn, activates twice. So definitely not bad. I think he can be ran on both strike and blast teams, just because I mean, it's debatable. I don't think that's a huge gap between strike and blast, but there is a gap. I also don't like that he doesn't have stuff for powerful opponent, because he actually looks like a good boost unit for powerful opponent, but he doesn't buff it. It's just Lineage of Evil, event exclusive, or Sagas. I could justify putting him on there if he buffed powerful opponent in the main ability or in the Z ability, but he doesn't even do it there. I feel like that's a massive setback for him. Next, let's talk about King Cold. So another melee type, unfortunately, and not to just shit on melee types, but just blast teams or blast units usually are able to find a home much easier than melee units. You know what I mean? For maximum stats, 2,395 key restore speed isn't the worst. Blue card and ultimate ability available to him. First ability, 60% to damage inflicted, 20% to strike damage inflicted. So already off rip, I'm like, you want him on a strike team, right? 50% to damage cut and 20% to key recovery. Every time an ally is defeated, oh god, dude, that sucks. That already sucks, dude. It ruined my day. 5% to damage inflicted, plus 5 to key recovery, plus 5? Not even 5%, just plus 5. 10% to special move gauge, start at the 3rd turn, 20% to damage inflicted for 2 turns, 10% to key recovery. Okay, it's a little better. And you upgrade your special move. Has a strike cover that's health gated at 50%, which isn't bad. On strike arts attack, you restore your health by 1% 2 times, 10% to special move gauge. On special move or ultimate activation, restore health by 3%, 20% to damage inflicted, and canceled downgrades and abnormal conditions. Again, he could be a good boost unit for powerful opponent, but he does not buff powerful opponent. I mean, we probably could still see him on there, but the fact that they didn't give him a buff to powerful opponent kind of just feels weird, right? Lineage of Evil, Weapon Molder, or Android Saga, dude. Like, come on, brother. And then last but not least, we have the brand new Metal Cooler, who everyone loves, right? Nothing but love for this guy is what I've been seeing, at least. ToP maximum stats, 2,444. 444? Okay, that's not bad. So blue card and the ultimate available to him. Started the battle 100% to damage inflicted, minus 20%, so 20% cut, right? Applies buff effects, nullify normal condition, restores 15% of damage received, so little bit of heals, right? After receiving an attack, multi-target, 10% to own damage inflicted, activates 2 times, 10% to own special move gauge, I like that. And then minus 10% to damage inflicted for 2 turns. On strike or blast arts hit, you inflict enemies in range with attribute downgrade, minus 10% to key recover for 2 turns, that's pretty good. And then minus 10% to critical rate for 2 turns, and another 5% to own special move gauge. So strike cover, health gated by 30%. It's definitely seems normal, doesn't seem crazy. Start of the 3rd turn, restores health by 2%, 20% to key recovery, and you upgrade your special move arts. Cancel downgrades. On special move or ultimate arts, you inflict plus 20% to damage received to enemy for 2 turns, and cancel attribute upgrades. And again, on special move or ultimate arts, multi-target, inflict enemy with heavy bleed for 2 turns, inflict all enemies with minus 10% to key recovery. So definitely not bad. He's going to fit on a lot more teams because he's buffing Lineage of Evil, Powerful Opponent, and Sagas from the movies. And his stat spread isn't a crazy gap either. It's like a 10k diff. So he could probably go on either strike or blast teams. Alright, and that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this season's guide video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. I'm sorry, it sounds like I'm just a dude like just struggling to breathe, bro. I'm sick, dude. But we toughed it out. Hopefully my voice didn't like just steer you away from the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the content, make sure you guys leave a like, maybe even consider hitting that subscribe button. And I will see you guys in the walkthrough video. Hopefully I feel better. Later, guys.